Hi guys, Jason here. Today we're looking at this 1997 reissue 50 watt Marshall, right? It's the 1987 circuit, but it has had a José mod done to it, right? A number of years ago. And the back story to this amp was that the José mod was actually copied from a real José amp that had been brought into Australia a long time ago by Erwin Thomas, or Jack Jones, as he is often known by. This amp belongs to Joel Wheeler, and Joel has actually got a YouTube channel. I'll put a link to it in the video description and in this video now. It's called The Rabid Dogs. He's got Brett Kingman on there and a bunch of others. It's a pretty interesting channel. I suggest you check it out. This amp came to me with a request from Joel to give it some more functionality, actually, because it was kind of hardwired into the José mode, and that means it's a reasonably high gain amp. Now, Joel wanted to be able to kind of foot switch it basically between the José mode and a lower gain mode or a standard Plexi. Alright guys, let's go through this modded 1987X, and you can see here, alright, and in combination with obviously the extra 12AX7 that's been drilled in the middle of the what would have been V1 and V2, we've got a José gain stage here basically, right? So it's a gain stage out in front of the Plexi, but there are some noticeable things in here that, you know, I would call a non-traditional José, which I believe, having now played the amp, are negatives. They are things that are, you know, making the amp sound not as great as it probably could. And we'll see, right? I'm going to make some changes to this, obviously, and we'll see if I can actually make it better, but I'm pretty confident that I can. I know better is subjective, but, you know, in my opinion, I think I can make it better for what I like. And having spoken with Joel, who owns this amp, I'm pretty sure that he and I have the same taste in how we want our Marshalls to sound. Now, the things I'm going to just point out, right? It's a kind of, as I said, it's a gain stage in front of the treble channel. So here's a treble channel volume here, and here's the José gain stage pot, if you like, right? The normal channel, which has got these kind of bright caps, if you like, in parallel on it, it's actually completely disconnected. The normal channel is not in the circuit at all, so you can't jumper and blend the channels in this amp at all. Look at the José gain stage though. The first thing I want to point out, which is kind of strange, is that the B plus line, right, or the power for this extra gain stage is this pink wire here, and you can see I'm moving it. It's this one. So the B plus for that first gain stage in the amp is tapped off here. This is the screen supply node. All right, it's the other side of the choke, which is just, yeah, look, it basically means that the voltage, right, the voltage supply to this first gain stage is super, super high. There's a 10K dropper in underneath all this glue here, and it's got its own filter cap. Again, José normally would not do that. You'd run normally a 200K plate resistor straight off the B plus supply that is feeding V1. Yeah, certainly in the mods that I do, that's how I do it. The next thing is
on this pot here, which is the gain control for that José gain stage. This is a 0.0022. Yeah, it's a 2N2, 2.2 nanofarad cap to ground, right? That'll be kind of shaving off quite a lot of, upper register harmonics and gain. So I want to voice this by ear, but I'll probably be dropping this back to probably to 1 nanofarad. We'll see. Interestingly though, right, coming off this gain, this is a 1 meg gain pot. This is a green wire here, is off the wiper. It makes its way back onto the board here, where it's got a 68k grid stopper. Right, so these are our normal grid stopper resistors for a Plexi, up on the board here. And then from there, it makes its way to the grid of V1, the treble side, which is the second gain stage in this amp, right? Because this José gain stage is only using one side of this one triode here in the José gain stage. But what we normally see here is a 68k resistor and a 68k resistor to ground, right? So it's a voltage divider. So you're normally in a José mod, you would see the 1 meg pot, but you'd still see the 68k and the 68k to ground. This ground, see this green cable here? It's been cut. So one side of this 68k voltage divider is not grounded. In other words, it's not a voltage divider. You've got a 1 meg pot, a 68k grid stopper, straight to the second gain stage. It's too much bass. I can hear it in the amp. It's kind of flubby, not as tight as it could be. So we're going to fix all that. But that's kind of, look, just main observations, right? You can see this thing's had some, different pots and stuff changed through its life. I've measured these. They all look okay. They all look in spec. I just want to talk about the normal channel as well, which you would normally plug in here, right? These jacks here are completely disconnected. As I said, this normal pot is it's still wired into the board here. You can see the brown wires here, right? Here and here. But it's completely disconnected, so you can't jumper this.
So that concludes the walkthrough of the amp as I received it. Stay tuned for the part 2 video where I'll take you through how I revoiced the José and also how the channel switching was added to it. In the meantime, here's some more tones of before and after.